We interrupt what you're watching right now to bring you this exciting story.
It's the dust and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the pledge of allegiance on the 4th of July. It's some handwritten letters from home. It's some sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. It's the red, white, and blue. Lay down, he's alive. It's the red, white, and blue. 40 stars and stripes. Hey. From the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana to the golden coast of California, Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop. And his 18th birthday was the day he was born. It's the red, white, and blue. Lay down, here's a light. It's the red, white, and blue. 40 stars and stripes. It's the red, white, and blue. Stand on the front line. It's the red, white, and blue. Pay the ultimate price. Oh. He was a man out when he was born. His family is proud but torn. But if you knew him, you would understand. He was raised on how to be brave, just to see the flags you wave. And he came home with all he wanted. It's Mr. Red, White, and Blue. Lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. All these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. Stand on these red lines. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. To pay the ultimate price. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. Lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. 40 stars and stripes. March in line. March in line. Hey. Hey.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Had the mute button on. Well, welcome. Sunday afternoon matinee, 4 o'clock. It's nice to see everybody coming in the rooms. You know, the room counter's just clicking up. Thank you. We appreciate you guys coming in on a yucky Sunday. Yucky. We went to a birthday party, adult birthday party. So then we were just gonna do. We said, let's do this. Hi, April. Thanks for coming by. See, mom and dad are here. You know, Heidi, thanks for coming. Let's see. Of course, Stan's in the room. Mayor JD Longo, thanks for coming in, sir. Nice to see you. I hope the wife and new addition to the family are doing well down there in Slippery Rock. We appreciate you paying attention to what we're doing here in Erie County because guess what? It affects all of us. And that's why we do this show. And we're spreading our wings farther and farther out taking bigger steps, taking on more channels, and that's something I want to talk to you guys about. I want your guys' opinion. Um, Stan, good supporter of the show, he has made a nice donation to our cause to help. So we got basically we're halfway there on our upgrade. So now we got to start putting the plan in motion on what other channels do we need to be watching. Type your suggestions into the room here. You know, we get to add three more channels. Yeah, three more channels. So, I'm not really sure what is the cool channels to go to these days. I mean, this is all hi Tina. This is all new to us. So, we were excited when we got on, Rumble and Truth. So, those are already covered. So then now we're just gonna start getting ready to make that leap because our subscription's coming up. We have to pay for that. Um, we'll get the monies together and we'll make sure that we keep on the air, because that's our voice from Erie County down to Slippery Rock, slide down to Florida, jump on over to Texas, boop, go up to Colorado. So yeah, our little show is sprouting wings. We want to get some new channels in there. I know the younger generation has a tendency to follow some hipper, cooler channels than us. I don't know. I guess I'm almost old enough for Social Security. So I really appreciate the legislation saying, don't worry about paying taxes on that, Brian, because when you hit your Social Security here within a year, I don't pay taxes on it. Thank you very much. Yeah. Oh, Mark Tuttle's in there. Thanks for coming in. Nice to see you, Mark, coming in. It's nice to see you becoming a regular listener here. And that's why we always ask when you come in the room, please say hello because I can't see you until you come in the room. I can see the channels. I can see how many people are here, but it doesn't give me a listing of who they are. So it's nice to know. We got Jennifer here, got Kathy Ann. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate you guys coming out on a Sunday afternoon matinee. Yeah, that's the little clicker's just clicking away, boy. Let me tell you, yep, X is coming alive, man. It's in second place, but it's nice to see those numbers click up. Uh, JD Longo gave us a bunch of advice. We paid attention to that. We put some better pictures up there. We're putting more content up there. We're hopefully, oh, Donna Reese, thanks for coming in here. Uh, we're getting this traction that we need, and the Democrats hate it, because they don't there's nobody in Erie, to the best of my knowledge, on that side of the street that does what we do. I know there's some podcasters running around, but to do a hybrid video interaction, take phone calls, play videos, we I think we're the only ones doing it. I've seen some other guys sort of kind of close to it, but I think we're the only ones, and that's fine. And as long as we keep the conservative voice up and running, that's what this is all about because this is a tool that we're going to use to promote our local candidates. See, and if you get me a button, I'll make you I will make you the star of the show. These microphones are just foam, so I just stick the pin in there, and you are recorded on 5 channels now, and for your ad. So that's good. Well, I tell you what. Never is there a dull moment in 2025 in the political world. There's a lot of cool stuff going on locally. Watch the races warming up. Petitions are out. We have a Republican mayor candidate now. We've got a Republican controller for the city of Erie. These are seats that have never really been challenged, and you know we're hoping that people are waking up and paying attention and watching the hate. You go on social media or TikTok or one of these things, and just the hate being spewed from the left about this whole thing in Ukraine. I mean, it's absolutely mind-boggling. These folks on that side of the street are losing their minds and talking about how rude the president was. But that's not mentioned. If you watch the whole, I think it was 50 minutes. We watched the whole thing. We try to do our research and make sure we're on track. The rude was the fact that a dictator comes to our country, asks for money for, I think it's technically an illegal war, but hey, what do I know? wants more money, and Trump's like, we don't want to do that because we're not promoting all this war and hate and death. I saw a number that they're 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 missing and have lost almost 1 million people. 1 million people have died over this conflict. Okay, I get it. Russia says part of the Ukraine belongs to them. Ukraine says no, it's ours. And then you got two big dogs on the porch fighting. Okay, I mean, I totally get that. And then I saw a video the other. It was a picture. Had a picture of uh, uh, I almost said something I shouldn't have. I watched, there was a picture, and there was a picture of Clinton shaking hands with Putin. There was a picture of Barack Hussein Obama shaking hands with Putin. There was a picture of Joe Sniffy Biden shaking Putin's hand. But then the minute they show a picture of Trump, oh, look at that. Look at that. See, look at that. People, we are not world leaders. We're people with opinions. We're pawns in the big game. These guys all know each other. These men and women, these world leaders, they all get together. They know each other by name. They probably have each other on speed dial when they have a problem. When you have the two biggest dogs in the world, you better have a good rapport. You better have a relationship. Does it mean that, oh my God, he's in Putin's pocket? No, no, that does not mean that. But it's amazing how the left just keeps spinning this around. And oh, I don't know. Remember the whole Russia gate? And they proved it wrong. It was all bullshit. It was all, shifty shift in his lies and deception, calling and costing the taxpayers millions of dollars for what? It was lies. But the left can't let it go. They can't let it go that they lost. They lost the popular vote. They lost the college electoral vote. They lost in both categories. You lost. Like the sign says, it flashes on air, boots on the ground with Brian Shank. And it also says, get over it. We had to get over it. And now what are they doing to JD Vance? Yeah, we won. Get over it. Literally disrupting his family to go skiing. When Sniffy Joe was out on one of his 500 plus days vacation, did we all go down to the beach and make it so he couldn't come to the beach? Nope. He's the president. I don't agree with him. I didn't vote for him, but he is the president. But the left can't do that. They cannot reciprocate that because, oh no, he's not my president. He's not my president. No, he's the people's president. He's not yours. You voted for your crazy people. It wasn't our fault that you guys had crappy candidates. It wasn't our fault that the Democrat Party threw out the guy that won the primary and they installed Kamala Harris and gave her just a truckload of money and she still couldn't win because she was a horrible candidate. And now she's going to be back in, all these posts. Oh, she'll be back in 2028. No, she's not. She's going to run for she's going to run for governor of California. They're going to elect her because Newsom needs to go. And they're just stealing from Peter to pay Paul on that deal. But hey, what do I know? But the point is, these people are not going to go into the night quietly. We had to sit on the sidelines and we grumbled and we groaned and let's go Brandon. And we did everything we could to let them know we're not happy. But we didn't go to their houses. We didn't track them down. We didn't stop the vice president's children to go skiing. Why go to these blue shitty states that don't like you? Don't go. Don't go. Don't spend your money there. Show them what really matters. And what really matters is what you spend. It's just like how many people actually knew about the No Shop Friday thing? I want to, I want to know by, just like typing in the room, how many people knew about the No Shopping Friday? Because Al Sharpton, that I owe $4 million to the IRS for, wanted to send a message. Hang on a second. Just type your answers in the room. How many people knew about it? Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, yeah. Kim learned no shop. Yeah, Friday was no shop. According to Al Sharpton, he put out this big, huge, all these flyers with the black fist in the air. We're going to show corporate America. We're going to shut this economy down. We're going to send a message to Donald J. Trump that we have the power. Dude, I intentionally went shopping just to show them your voices and your hate doesn't matter. We stopped at a local Dombrowski's over here in Lawrence Park. Had a great lunch with Renee Newberry and her daughter and Brenda and I had a great time. And I went to Wally Mart and I put it on social media. Here I am buying the essentials. A toilet seat. Ours was broken. Okay, batteries. Needed some batteries. Propane. When it gets cold out, you gotta have some backup propane heaters and a box of shotgun shells. Have a nice day. Screw you, Al Sharpton. You pay your $4 million to the tax that you owe. Maybe people will actually take you seriously and stop your race baiting crap. The race card is done. Nobody listens. Nobody cares because it's all bullshit. Can I shop my ass off? Yeah, Tina, me too. Because you know what? These retailers, because they're mad because these retailers are not participating in DEI anymore. It's a dead philosophy. It's dying. It's not a horrible, dying very quickly and rotting on the stem, on the vine. But they're mad. They put Aunt Jemima back on the list again because why? The owners decided to bring the marketing back of the bottles that look like Aunt Jemima, the actual founder of it, the actual person who was a slave and ended up dying a millionaire because of a country that actually let you be. It's not as oppressed as they want us to think it is, and they keep pushing and pushing and pushing. So yeah, I love it. There's a list out there. You want to chuckle? Do not drink coffee and read that list because they've got Nestle's and they've got Costco and they got they get all the big retailers. You're not going to hurt them, boys and girls. You are not going to hurt them because you're mad because Aunt Jemima bottles are coming back. These corporate guys are like, all right, let's look at the numbers. Let's do some studies, get some people in here. Let's do a survey, get the bean counters out. Let's get this thing warmed up and let's see that this cost us money. Shit, that cost us a lot of money. Bring it back. Because it's not a negative. It wasn't a stereotype. It was an actual paying homage to a slave that was freed and then ended up being a millionaire, and her family ended up being millionaires because what Aunt Jemima did. It's a true story. Google it up. You don't believe me? Look it up. Not my words, man. All right. Let's see. Sorry. X is taken off with 63 followers. Thank you guys on X. Thank you for coming out today. I appreciate it. The heart of Harbor Creek, Pennsylvania, Erie County, depending where you're listening from. Brenda, you got some videos for us. Man, we got some doozies this week.
They kicking his butt in there. This is what it's supposed to look like. Don't come up in America talking crazy. I'll slap you out that chair.
The Oval Office is trying to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring it into this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you see what problems we have?
I have been to. I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people in your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know.
bless. You will not have war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel,
I'm not telling you.
because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's exactly what you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very
You will
good.
feel influence.
We're going to feel very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you,
strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself to
very-
be in a
from
very
the
bad
very
position,
beginning
and
of
he
the
happens
war.
to be right
From
about
the
it.
very beginning of the war.
You're not in a
Mr.
good
Brown,
position.
I
You don't
was
have the
saying,
cards right now. With us, you start having
not playing
cards. But
cards.
right now, you don't.
I'm
Yeah,
very
you're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're gambling
I'm
with the
president
lives
of
of
the
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War III.
What you
You're
think about-
gambling
what
with
you
World
think
War
about-
III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's
with
back
all
to you.
respect to your
Far
voice.
more than a lot of people said they should
Have
have.
you said thank you once this
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire
today.
meeting, you said thank
Even
you.
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
I can't take this. Is they kicking his butt in there? This is what it's supposed to look like. Don't come up in America talking crazy. I'll slap you out that chair. That little homie think he gonna come up in here, bro. Don't get worked by Trump. Trump, he may be 75, but he'll get on your real fast. And JD, he look like he a big dude. Don't get whooped in front of everybody in the White House. Come in the Oval Office disrespect that we'll kick you out of here.
Yeah. Officer Tatum is amazing guy. He's a former police officer, very religious guy, has a syndicated national talk show, and he does not pull any punches. I mean, he does not. He calls it as he sees it. He plays it as he sees it. I could only grow up and have a show like he does, because it's amazing to listen to him on the radio. He is on all these different social medias. Look him up, Officer Tatum. Kim, if you want to call back, sorry, there was a little transition there. You always call right when I put on a video, but yeah, just call back and it'll be fine. But so the point of this whole video is they're like, oh, Trump and Vance were being mean. Who was trying to overtalk the president of the United States, the most powerful man in the world? He was trying to bully him down. And JD did a pretty good job until he pissed Trump off. And then Trump came out, swinging. You're playing cards. You're gambling with World War III. No shit. Hi, Kim. You're live. Sorry, I caught you right out of video.
Oh, that's okay. I love Officer Tatum. That's one of my second favorite podcaster.
I know. I was online looking at for some stuff, and I said, Kim will love this one. What's up? What's going on?
Oh, well, first off, happy Sunday, everybody. It's a great day in America because President Trump is president. And I want to thank, from the bottom of my heart, thank everybody who came out to my event Friday. It just warmed my heart. And a special shout out to you and Brenda, my right hand and my left hand. Couldn't have done it without your support. So a big thank you to everybody.
It's a team effort. And you know what? I got to tell you, and I have to echo exactly what you said. I was impressed that many people showed up. That's a warm and fuzzy feeling when you have people show up and say, yes, we're here for you. We're going to help you out. What can we do? Can we sign a petition? We'll get you some money. We'll put some money in the kitty. We'll get some doors knocked when the weather gets nice. You're on the ballot. And this is exactly what we're going to need. And this is the stuff we've been preaching for years now. When I ran for council, 5 years ago, just Brenda and I basically, and Linda Bazzino, she helped out. Peter Graff, he came out and helped out. I learned a lot. The things I know, Peter Graff taught me. Linda Bazzino taught me. So then we have this institutional knowledge, and we hand it off to the next person. So yes, it's a team effort.
Yes. And hey, guys and girls, please, let's put a lot of support behind Leanne Orton. Her last election, she only lost by 100 votes. So I really think we can get her elected. Let's put a lot of support behind our sheriff candidate. He's a great guy. I just fell in love with him, and I don't like a lot of people. So for me to say these are two great people, they are awesome. Let's put a lot of support behind Nate Ridner. You know, he's going to be great, great clerk of records. You know, he's going to modernize it, get it into the 20th century, which is one of the things I'm campaigning on. Let's move forward with technology. So he's going to make a great clerk of records, you know. So let's do this last week's shove with the petitions and help everybody out. We got a great event coming up this next Saturday. We got Congressman Mike Kelly coming to the Bayfront Convention Center. Now, you have to make reservations for this. So get your reservation in to Melanie Brewer. You know, she works full time for our great congressman. You know, we're going to work really hard with him to get some new infrastructure into the city. So please come out and support him, because I'm telling you what, he's getting a lot of flack, you know, from the Democrats with Doge and everything. And he's working his ass off in D.C., working hard for us. So let's show him a lot of love.
Well, right. But see, we knew this was going to happen. I mean, why do you think I came up with hashtag told you so? This is exactly how the Democrats were going to act when they lose, and they lost. So all my predictions are pretty right on the money that they're going to come out. They're going to scream, stomp, kick, swear. I watched a video the other day. I was going to play it, but it's a little graphic, where a group of it appeared to be Mexicans chased a cop car down and shot into the police car. Now, you want to come to our country because yours is so shitty, but then you're going to shoot at our cops to try to make our country shitty? No, that's not going to happen. It's going to come out very badly for them.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. And how about these protesters down at the federal building accusing Doge and Trump of cutting Medicare and Medicaid? He has said it 1,000 times. He's not cutting Social Security. He's not touching Medicare. He's not touching Medicaid. Okay. He's said it 1,000 times. Find another issue. Find something else. Get off the pedestal. Okay. You guys are spreading hate and fear, and it's unwarranted.
That's the only tactic they know, is they find, it's like, you know, they push you and they go, oh, soft spot. And then they just drill down on that soft spot and they gaslight, use these trigger words. I've said this 100,000 times on the short time that we've been doing this show. That's what they do. They drill down on something until it sticks. It's just like Trump and Putin, you know, no, we proved you wrong. They won't not accept it. It's just like, yeah, what they did is they probably heard Trump or Vance or one of the team members say, yeah, we're going to cut the fraud out, and they just interpret it the way they want to interpret it. Oh, see, they said it. They're going to cut Social Security and waste out. See, but they said that, and they'll cut it up. The media will snip it and edit it up. So it's, oh yeah, we're going to cut Medicare and go to the next phrase. It's bullshit. They're not going to do it, and it's just fear tactics. And thank you, Jesus, or whoever you believe in, that the American people were smart enough not to believe their crap, and we got President Trump in there. Now they're pissed.
Oh yeah, they're pissed. And I'll tell you what, we are going to turn the city red. You know, I talked to Mayor Longo. He's put me in contact with Early Vote Action. We're going to get some volunteers down here. And this is another thing, guys and girls. We do, Nate Ridner and I, we're getting volunteers together to stand outside the polls. And we're going to give a short little class on how to meet voters. We're going to give them a sample ballot of our recommended candidates, because a lot of times people go to the polls, they do not know who they want to vote for. So we're going to give them a list of recommended candidates. You know, we need people to stand outside the polls. And if anybody has an area where they're interested in putting up a 4x8, please let myself, Brian Shank, or Tim Kuzma know. We would really appreciate that, because we got to get the messages out in the city.
Yeah.
And I think that's about all I have to report this time. At the end of March, we will be having an event. Come meet and talk to your candidates at Lombardo's Tavern, where people can come have wings and pizza and meet your local candidates. And as soon as I coordinate with Leanne and our sheriff candidate and Nate, we will have that date to you.
Yeah, that's awesome. We appreciate it again. And, you know, I like Kim said, thank you for coming out to her meet and greet. The media showed up. I haven't seen the news yet. I looked around. I didn't see it. That doesn't mean it's not there. But hey,
Yeah, I haven't been able to find the clip either. I think maybe they'll put it on there Monday.
yeah, and then some old army photographer guy got some great pictures of all the
He
everybody up there.
did.
Yeah, they came out really good. And
He's a master with the phone because, like Brenda says, don't take a picture with Kim's phone. It sucks,
yeah, mine's just a
and it's the truth.
mine's just
Oh,
a,
and another thing, you got another great fan. And listen, guys and girls, Brenda and Brian do the show, out of the goodness of their hearts. They do need donations. And you picked up another great fan Friday night. And I do have a $40 donation for your show sitting here.
oh wow, thank you. That I
Yes.
appreciate that. And again,
It was donated by my good friend that looks just like AOC, Barbara.
as long as she doesn't
She
act
goes,
like her, we're good.
She just says, I just love that. I just love that, Brian and Brenda. I just love them to death. Here's $40. Give this to them for the show. I said,
Wow,
okay, I will
we
do that.
appreciate that. Like I said, we do everything out of our pocket. We just ask for a few bucks to help out. Lance and his lovely wife, they helped out. Then we got Stan helping out. It takes a community to build a building, and that's what we're doing here because we don't make any money on any of this. It's not the intent or the purpose. The intent and purpose is to get we kind of like in the loop and start motivating you people because you realize and you've seen firsthand when we work as a team, we do wonders. When we're divided, it sucks. And
Right.
And right now is a great tactical time to take a swipe at every Democrat that's running because they are fractured. They are hemorrhaging money and support, and they're bleeding. And now's
They are bleeding bad.
Yeah.
And listen, guys and girls, if anybody needs a Make Harry Great Again hat or a t-shirt, please get a hold of Brenda, because like I said, she's a master and these are wonderful shirts. The only person that's ever made me a shirt where I can actually get the stains out, and that's on a white shirt. So please get a hold of my best friend Brenda and order yourself some t-shirts. And on that, everybody have a beautiful, safe, and happy Sunday.
Thanks,
Talk
Kim.
to
We
you guys on
appreciate your
Wednesday.
boots on the ground report, man. They are important. I wonder where Dave is. Dave usually comes in, but sometimes he doesn't catch we're doing a matinee. I should have put it up a little sooner, but I didn't. But because we had a party to go to, I wasn't really sure. I had signed up to work this weekend. I didn't catch that. So it's all good. That's the flexibility of being, like my neighborhood Karen says, well, he only does it in his dining room. Yeah, and it's my dining room. I can do what I want with it. It's not like we're, JD Vance or somebody stopping by. It's the dining room with a flag in between the two rooms. And that's what the flag's for. And we're kind of patriotic. But yeah, so Brenda, you got another video up ready for us?
So you said yesterday, made a lot of news, bad-mouthing Trump, not a good idea for Zelensky.
Of course.
What's the thought process here?
Well, look, I mean, President Zelensky, his country wouldn't exist without the generosity of the United States of America. So say thank you. And if you disagree with the president, pick up the phone and call him or call one of our great diplomats. Don't go on a media tour around Europe bad-mouthing the president of the United States. It's insulting. It's insulting to him. It's insulting to me. It's insulting to the American people. And by the way, it's stupid. All of us who know the president would tell you that bad-mouthing him in public is not the way to get President Trump to change his mind. So I think Zelensky needs to have some better consultants.
Yes, that's right. Maybe you could write his tweets. Do you write the tweets, or you write the mean tweets? Are they you?
I do write the tweets. Yeah, no. It's again. I said out there. One of my wife's pieces of advice to me was that don't be filtered. Don't let other people write your tweets. So yes, I write my own tweets. So both the good ones and the bad ones, I take responsibility for.
Yeah, that's the Benny Show, syndicated talk show host, very conservative. He just lays the cards on the table. There's no bullshit. You can check him out on TikTok, on social media. Just the Benny Show. He's a great broadcaster, great interviewer. He gets it right. And do I always agree with him? No, but that's okay. We're allowed to disagree, but that doesn't mean I'm going to go stand out in front of his house and give his wife and children a hard time, and that's from the party of tolerance and the party of joy that are the ones that are, creating havoc and chaos. And they're like a 2-year-old that's having a temper tantrum, throwing themselves on the ground, and they kick and scream. You lost fair and square. No cheating. We had lawyers watching. There was a lot of shenanigans that went on with the voters. You can Google up any time. Well, this county got busted for X amount of bad ballots, and this was a bad ballot, and these were bad ballots. And this one got caught dumping them in there. But no, it's okay. Um, we won fair and square, fair and square. We won in 2 categories. So get over it. I love to play that song, Get Over It. But the last time I got shadow banned by Facebook, so I can't play that song. It's a good song though. Get over it. But yeah, and the point is, why can't you guys? This isn't about the Ukraine. It's about us. And I put a post up, and I had my special flag. Brenda, did you get that special flag loaded up? I didn't see it.
It's loading, but it hasn't loaded yet.
Oh, okay. I know some of that artwork takes time, and I get that. Totally understand that. But since we're waiting on that, now again, I have this picture. This is something I grabbed off the internet. This is our illustrious governor that kept us locked down during the scandemic, signing artillery shells that are manufactured here in Pennsylvania. Now look at the little rugrat next to him. Look at the little dictator coming in to sign shells with the governor. Now wait a minute. Who's the tall, goofy guy? I don't know. The former Senator Casey, Democrat, and I'd buy you a beer that there's not one Republican in there. And that was a point Trump made. He goes, "You were in Pennsylvania running around with the Democrats." Well, there's the picture that Trump was talking about, that he was with the governor and Casey in Pennsylvania signing artillery shells to shoot and kill other people. I don't think that's a really cool image, that we are absolutely going to sign our names to artillery shells that are going to be shot over a couple thousand yards away to kill Russians, kids that were drafted into the army. I don't think that's something that should be. There it is. Not my flag, not my war. I put that flag. I put that little flag up on my social media. I had over almost 200 likes, thumbs up, and big hearts and stuff, because it's not my flag. It's not my war. I don't want our children. This is a Brian special. This is all over social media. Help flood social media with the message, "I'm with Ukraine." Somebody scratched out USA, wrote in USA. I'm like, I'm in heart with Erie County. I mean, why can't we love Erie County? Why do we have to fly Ukrainian flags? Why do I drive around and find Puerto Rican flags up? Why do I find Hamas flags up? Why do I see? This is an actual picture of a flag somebody made it, and I made it my profile picture. America first. And I had one guy goes, "Well, America's a superpower. We are. Why are you trying to say?" I'm saying they're very clearly. I mean, there's only 2 words on this. I don't know how it can be misinterpreted. So I scroll through his social media. Like, oh yeah, I love Ukraine. He's got the I heart Ukraine logo on there. So there it is. He needs small words and some crayons so I can explain it to him. But I didn't bother, because I'm like, no matter what I say, he's just going to argue it down. Oh, yeah, blah, blah. No, America first. Stop wasting all this money and start take care of the people that make the money for these projects. Brenda goes to bed early. I sit there on my nice tablet, and I'll just type in border wall construction. Amazing what they're doing. Amazing how much they're getting done down there. And they show the Marines and the Army guys down there working shoulder to shoulder, putting concertina wire up. We had a video, I think it was last week. They're talking about barely 200 border crossings. They showed the entranceway where they were coming through. They're not coming through. Well, of course, they showed someone with a ladder climbing it. Okay, I get that, but that takes time. That's just not strolling over, or I'm just going to walk over with drive over with a truck full of fentanyl to wipe out, a city. And that's exactly our point. we need to take care of America first. And then when we get ourselves squared away and we have a balanced budget and our taxes are reasonable, we can start helping our neighbors. I got no beef with Canada, but look at the crybaby liberals up in Canada, what they're doing. Him and Trudeau and Trump got into a little thing. They worked it out, but they're booing. They're booing us at hockey events. Oh, that's very grown up of you. Really grown up with you. And well, we got a little beef with the El Presidente of Mexico. She puffed her chest and I'm the president. Okay, we get that. She saw the light and said, "Okay, we get it. We get it. Hey, can we bring special forces down there and take out those terrorists? You knock yourself out." What? And the drug cartel guys are like, you don't know the war you're going to start. No, actually, it'll be pretty short. It'll be very, very short because we don't have to fly very far. It's not like we're in, some shithole in the Middle East, fighting a battle, in Iraq and Afghanistan. And we got troops in Africa. Screw them, pull them all out. Stop sending money to Iraq, pull our troops out, stop defending the big oil and diamond stuff. This is Brian. You're live.
Hey, Brian, this is Tina. Hi, Oaks. How are you?
Well, thanks for calling in, Tina. How you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Good.
I was just calling in. I watched the whole thing with Zelensky and the Trump and the Vance thing. I thought Trump and Vance should have just pounced on him a little bit harder.
Yeah, but he's just a little guy, and Trump's over 6 foot tall. JD's a Marine. This guy is a comedian actor. That would have been, I think,
and a dancer in high heels.
Yeah, exactly. Now, before we get too far, explain to everybody, introduce yourself, who you are, and what are you working for this year?
Oh, okay. My name is Tina Hyotis. I am running for Erie City Council, along with Yvette Anderson and Anita Fey and Kim Hunter. We are all Republicans. And the reason we're running is we want to make serious change in Erie. We want more transparency and accountability. We want to make sure that our money that is being spent, that the money that we're spending, that it's our taxpayers' dollars, are actually going to where they need to go. And we need to root out some of these NGOs and things that the city's paying money to that is either not aligning with or supporting our city in any way and only costing us money and not doing anything really for our bottom line, and maybe reallocating those funds to maybe help with veterans, homelessness, mental health awareness, maybe some alternatives to youth outreach other than the one that got the $600,000 loan.
Oh yeah.
That is forgivable.
That's bullshit.
Because from what I understand, his center has significantly dropped in participation. That there's really not enough people participating in the program through that area that he has to really warrant the amount of money that was spent.
Oh, absolutely. Well, because they get this money, it's grant money, and they'll have, it center the news. They'll have a ribbon, Rainbow Joe come down, get his 599th million picture taken. Doesn't really do anything other than the PR guy photo op. They call him Mayor Photo Op, and another if you really pay attention to I look at the maps before they started this project. They had to take out two houses that were paying taxes. They had to tear them out for a driveway. They're now not paying taxes. And gee, I don't know why we're broke.
That's part of the reason. And the other reason is my question is some of this money that we're getting from federal funds that are supposed to be paying for certain things, or they're earmarked for certain things. I don't think half the money's being spent where it's supposed to be spent at. I think there's backdoor things going on, and money is getting shifted around and filtered out to pet projects that don't need to be paid for by that money. It needs to go for what it was earmarked for.
You mean kind of like creative financing?
Yes, creative financing. And it was so funny as we were talking, made the mention about, oh, and Kim just made a good point. You have to be a member of his church to use his services.
Yeah. How open door policy is that? Where we're building this with your tax dollars, but you can only utilize our facility if we're a member of your church? No, those
That's
are
not
our
fair.
tax dollars. You, us paid for it. I don't live in a city, but I take some side jobs in the city. I got to pay their occupational privilege tax to come into the city, and those are our tax dollars. And
And, one of the things that I do is, and where I think I could be a benefit is, um, I know how to write grant proposals. I know how to do work on bids. I know what bids consist of. I deal with that on a daily basis in my full-time job because that's what I do is I help companies, big and small, write up bids or grant proposals to get government work or contracts or money. That's what I do now that I'm not a nurse.
Good.
And
It's an
the other
important.
thing that I don't like is I printed out that whole dang budget for the city.
Right.
It's over 100 pages.
Yeah.
And you know that 100 pages and it's not even line itemed.
Really? Because I know
100 pages of no line item. It's block categories, office supplies. Office supplies could be anything.
Oh, well, it's a catch-all. That way they can go out and buy a new laptop, and it's just an office supply. Now, on a county, our budget was on it.
See, theirs is just broken down into the
Right.
and that's it. And it was 100 pages. And that doesn't show transparency
Not at all.
or accountability because the only way you're going to be able to get in there and find out where exactly the money is going and what the money is being spent on is to be able to for them to show proof of where it went.
Oh, absolutely.
Just like campaign finance, you have to you have to do you have to cross every T and dot every I.
Yeah, you better zero balance it all out. You better not have a negative, and it doesn't work that way. Oh yeah, I overspent, but I don't have a receipt for that. Well, you better find a receipt for it.
And the other thing is too that I think that the youth should have some input in what goes on to city council meetings, even if they come in 20 or 30 minutes before, so they can talk about some of the things that they're concerned about that affect them in the city, because eventually, hopefully they'll stay here and continue to be a taxpayer. If not, they're going to leave, go somewhere else, and we're going to steadily hemorrhage population loss and income loss.
I got it. I mean, I totally get that. We were at a city council meeting, and they had a group of kids there to come speak. They were asked to leave because they were making so much noise and just playing around and not even paying attention. So they were asked to leave because they were just they thought they called us disruptors. But yeah, it's all good. But no. But yeah, I do got to move along, but I appreciate you calling in. Oh, anytime. Like I said.
Don't forget, we have our kickoff campaign Tuesday night at room 33 from 5:30 to 7. You guys are all invited. If you didn't get a personal invite, take this as a personal invite.
There you go. And like I said, I had it on my social media. Your little poster.
Yes, and if Brenda wants to bring anything from your show or anything like that to post or put out, feel free to do so.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Thanks for calling, man. It was nice that your husband called last week.
Yes, he did. He said he wanted to talk to you.
He got that Brooklyn accent.
Yes, he did. You have a great day.
All right. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Yeah. And again, this is us pushing back and saying, you know what, the status quo needs to stop. Oh, I'm not going to run here because it's Democrat controlled. That doesn't matter. Get up, pick out a petition, and roll out. And we got Brenda just put up on the screen here, Mayor Longo's Mix and Mingles. It's join us for petition signing, networking, and goodies in support of Mayor Longo and the Republican candidates.
That is tomorrow.
Yeah, it's 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Now, it is down in Slippery Rock. It's a little bit of a drive. The weather seems to be pretty good. So if you really want to, trust me, those guys know how to put on a show down there. And we're going to we told him we would promote it here. He's a great fan of the show. He's been on a couple times. We're going to have him come back on another time. And when he comes into X, he brings 93 friends with him. So yeah, appreciate you putting it up there, Brenda. I do. So yeah, like I said, it's a mover. Listen, we've already been on for 45 minutes. Time flies. Time flies when you're having fun, and we somebody else called. If you want to call back in, I don't know who it was. I don't have their number listed, but that doesn't mean anything. That because we put the number into the room, so anybody can basically just kind of chime in if they choose to. We got a video for us, Brenda?
It was another historic week at the White House. Let's break it all down in the MAGA Minute. President Trump showed the world what American strength looks like when he stood up for the American people to President Zelensky during their meeting in the Oval Office. Massive corporations announced new investments and jobs in the United States. Following President Trump's 10% tariff on China, Apple announced it will spend more than $500 billion and hire 20,000 American workers over the next 4 years. Pharmaceutical company Eli Lilly announced an investment of $27 billion to build 4 new manufacturing plants in the United States. On the border, the administration has officially deported more than 50,000 illegal immigrants from our country, a 627% increase in monthly arrests under Joe Biden. Mexico also extradited 29 vicious and violent cartel criminals to the United States to face their long-awaited justice. And the president signed an executive order to make the prices of medical services more transparent, unlocking huge healthcare savings opportunities for you, the American people. And lastly, we took a historic step towards restoring your trust in the mainstream media by saying the White House Correspondents Association is no longer going to decide who gets to go into the Oval Office and fly on Air Force One. New media is traveling with the president, covering this president. It was a great week, and we'll see you next time for the MAGA Minute.
I love those MAGA minutes. That's such a good little recap of all the cool winning. They booted out one news entity. I guess I didn't realize they had little offices actually in the White House. They can go and write up all their stuff, do whatever they need to do. And they showed a picture of their little office gone, zipped it all out. You don't want to play nice. You don't want to play like a professional, like the media loves to do with him. They would have never, ever talked to Joe Biden like that because Joe Biden wouldn't have been able to follow that. And Kamala Harris wouldn't have been able to follow because she'd just be there for 20 minutes with word salad. And I get that. Now you get updates from the president. You get JD Vance can do a off the cuff interview and have no problems with it. And that's why the Democrats hate. They hate. The party of joy is a party of baloney because there is no joy there. And I totally get that. So let me see here. I was running the ads in the corner, but I don't have a small ad for Mike Pace. So I want to make sure that we get a shout out to Mike Pace and our Republican candidate Markham for Erie County Sheriff. We appreciate that. And then one race down in Northeast, Jane Blindstone. We appreciate everything she's done. If you guys are candidates, you get me your artwork. Brenda, will make sure it gets put on the show. I just click the icon and it goes. So we want to make sure we show everybody love. You get me a pin. I'll put it on the microphone. I'm going to try to rotate the microphone advertising weekly. Like I said, we're going to start to do 2 shows a week because people seem to dig them. They seem to be catching on. We're getting the traction we want, spreading our wings. And like I said, I'm excited about adding some new channels. Put your suggestions in the chat room, and I can go back and read them. Brenda, you got another video? You're right, Lance. There is no happiness in liberal land. That's a
To a
good
Fox News
one.
alert today, 2 of the 29 cartel members who were just extradited to the U.S. from Mexico, including one accused of killing a DEA agent back in 1985, will appear in a New York court today.
Shanley Painter is here with all the details for us. Shanley?
Hey, good morning. So, at least 2 of those defendants will be arraigned today in Brooklyn federal court, according to Reuters, including a drug lord who is alleged to have been among those responsible for the murder of a U.S. DEA agent, Enrique Kiki Camara, in 1985. This comes as Mexico on Thursday handed over 29 high-profile drug cartel members to the United States as part of an unprecedented extradition as the Trump administration ramps up pressure on drug trafficking organizations, illegal immigration, and fentanyl production. According to prosecutors, the prisoners face charges related to drug trafficking and in some cases homicide, among other crimes. And among them are members of 5 of the 6 Mexican organized crime groups designated earlier this month as foreign terrorist organizations by the Trump administration, guys.
Chanley, thank you very much. So keep in mind, we heard from the president yesterday that the tariffs are coming, and we're going to talk about that throughout the morning. They're going to come down hard on Mexico to the tune of 25%. And when Mexico heard about it, he started negotiating with the president, Sheinbaum, down in Mexico. So what does she do? Just a couple of days before the tariffs are supposed to go into effect, she releases these, we extradite into the United States, these 29 jailed cartel members, including somebody who is at the top of the most wanted list for 40 years. She also is pulling out all the stops, they say, this is Mexico's point of view. They've arrested more than 400 people since February, after she announced that they were going to send 10,000 troops to the northern border for them. They've seized 12 tons of narcotics, coke, meth, and 120 pounds of methamphetamines and fentanyl. It's all about trying to keep those tariffs from happening, but they're happening on Tuesday.
Yeah, Donald Trump's going to hold them accountable. He wants this to end. He wants them to protect the borders. He wants them to stop allowing individuals, especially cartel members, people bringing fentanyl over, trafficking children across the border.
The cartel can't be happy. I mean, Mexico is a narco state. And now, because of the president's pressure, their number one enterprise, which is getting the people across the border, people pay tens of thousands of dollars to get across the border. That has been totally disrupted. Now you have the Mexican president turning over the bosses, because just because they're in jail doesn't mean they're not running the criminal enterprise from jail as well. And their tunnels are being sealed with concrete. I mean, it's pretty much all maximum pressure against the cartel, bro.
Yeah. So the proper negotiation, the proper business deal, the proper pressure in the right place gets results. Joe Biden could care less about any of this. The border czar, the vice president, went down there for a photo shoot. Miss Cortez went down there for a photo shoot. But then we get a president that actually says, we're going to hire and we're going to put the right guy down there as a border czar. And we got Tom down there. I didn't realize, if you want to see some interesting reading, go back in history on his resume. Wow. I mean, this guy loves his country. I mean, the work he's done through his whole life, they hired the right guy for the right job. And you know what? That's why the left is losing their minds, because they hate to see this administration actually doing stuff that they're I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, they're supposed to do, because they were hired to do the job. We don't have a guy with a mustache and lipsticks that steals dresses in charge of our nuclear waste. Transportation secretary. He was a mayor. Oh, the new guy isn't qualified. He was a mayor of a little tiny town. How is he qualified to run the United States Transportation Department? Ridiculous. And Admiral Levine telling everybody else how to be healthy. To me, that is 100% bullshit that they take a civilian, stuff her it into a dress, a uniform, and promote her to admiral? Are you kidding me? To make admiral in the Navy, you have to be at least 20, 25, 30 years of service, and you've got to be connected. You have to know the right people and have talked to the right people and went to the right parties and have the political mojo to make admiral. But a stroke of a pen, she's an admiral? Bullshit. That is stolen valor 101. That's just my opinion. Disagree with all you want. I don't care. Like Scott Brebner used to tell us when he didn't like what we said, it's my show. But I would never say that. Brenda, you got any more videos?
I have 4 short ones that I'm going to play back to back.
That's fine, dear.
They are all protests. The first one is at Tesla, and the last 3 are pro-Ukrainian.
Yeah. Not one American flag in it. All the nice Ukrainian colors. Greater. All of them.
I'm from Yalta, which is in Crimea, Ukraine, and it has been occupied by Russia since 2014. And it was one of the main reasons why I left pretty much and came to US.
If Ukraine doesn't get enough support, tomorrow it may be too late.
Bullying is not diplomacy, and it's not something to be proud of, as the White House is portraying it to be, that we're strong, America first. It's not how it looked to the world, and the world
we have some big news right now. A massive protest has broken out in the center of New York. New York City, Times Square. Protest is a massive pro-Ukraine protest. I want you to take a look at this picture. This is what Times Square looks like right now. Hundreds, if not thousands of people are out in blue and yellow protesting in favor of Ukraine, showing their support for Ukraine after President Zelensky's press conference or Oval Office meeting yesterday, where he was berated by Donald Trump and JD Vance. Here's the thing, these aren't Ukrainians protesting. These are Americans who are protesting to show their support for Ukraine. And right now, European allies of America are actively alienating the United States of America by holding an emergency meeting tomorrow, possibly even discussing an umbrella of nuclear deterrence where they would protect themselves without America. We are seeing a monumental shift here in our nation, but also around the world. And I'll do a full breakdown on my Substack this evening. Subscribe for the link in my bio.
Not one American flag in the mix, all Ukrainian flags. It's funny, not ha funny, that the left loves to find a cause and they can justify running some other country's flags on our soil. I don't get that. It's just
an excuse to protest.
Yeah, it's just an excuse to protest. If Trump wasn't in office, it was somebody else, and they had the same action, they probably would even care half as much, because it's Trump and the Democrat Party has got their playbook out. Resist, and let's use all our trigger words: a threat to democracy, a constitutional emergency. All these trigger words to strike fear. Gaslighting. This is gaslighting 101, what they're doing to the people to scare them. You know what? Well, how many times did we have to step into Europe and save their asses, and then they're going to snub their nose at us? Okay, no problem. Do what you got to do, but don't call us when you're in trouble. Don't. You want to get into a pissing contest? You know how many soldiers are sitting on foreign soil throughout Europe. I was over there in the 80s. And you know what we were told? We were told we're there as a speed bump if Russia would come back plowing through Germany. We're just a speed bump, just to slow them down till we get the regular forces over there. And that's fine. Uh, but yeah, World War One. Who saved them from World War One? Two. Who had to go help in Korea? Let's talk about the Falkland Islands. No one ever talks about the Falkland Islands because it was such a little blip on the screen. And then this Vietnam thing. You can find a lot of parallels from what happened with Vietnam and the buildup. And what were they protecting? They were protecting the drug cartel. Okay, caller, you're live.
Hi, Brian.
This is Brian.
Hi, it's Yvette Anderson. I just wanted to tell you what a great podcast.
Oh, thank you. We appreciate it. Now, before we get any further, tell people who you are.
Oh, Yvette Red Anderson. I'm a local Erieite, born and raised, and I'm running for Erie City Council.
Well, see, that's it. I know who you are, but some of the people like JD Longo and the 100+ people in Slippery Rock don't know who you are. So that's why I say, hey, tell them who you are, and why are you running for city council? I'll give you a couple minutes.
Well, I was born and raised in Erie, and I've been blessed to have been involved in the development of many activities for youth in the community. My late husband and I were able to get a couple parks throughout our marriage before he passed, to have a roller hockey area, a rollerblading, a skateboard area, an area where kids could just go and play ball hockey. And I was one of the founders of Erie Hockey and was able to get hockey for girls because they'd get to be age 10 and they were not to play anymore. And we have a history in Erie in our hockey family with the Erie Lions, but the Erie Lady Lions, our first girls team, they are the only team in history to this day to have ever played the Russian Red Army team that had Fedorov on it, Shankov, Kosolov, and these young women grew up to be business owners, great parents, medical professionals, military. So we have a lot of pride in Erie, not only in sports, but I've also been involved with Tall Ships for 12 years. I was director of visitor services, and we brought a lot of people in to be volunteers who didn't know our history. And, I don't know how to say this nicely, but I cry when I hear somebody call Erie the mistake on the lake or dreary Erie. Because
right.
Erie still has number 3 rank for the most beautiful sunsets.
Oh, I agree.
In North America, according to National Geographic. We have a history with the Warner Theater, which I was blessed as a child. My grandfather, who was Cree Indian, did all of the gilding work and at that time the woodwork in draperies. So I look around and go, wow, this city, which used to be the 3rd largest with industries that were only here, Lord Corporation, Zern.
Cyrus Erie.
We're number 5.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
No.
We get it. We went from 130 some thousand people. We're struggling at 95,000 people.
And there's no reason for it, but we're getting a bad name because, for example, you drive down, I come up from the east side, born and raised on the quote west side when there was a stigma, but it's funny, we all east and west wound up at Academy High School.
Right.
It's State Street was on the other side, but I drive down, say, Parade Street or down Essex where I live, and I see trash everywhere and homes that are not at code. And imagine being a visitor. And I thought about it because we just had my Sarah Backstrom tournament, which Sarah was one of my first lady Lions, and she passed from cancer at 18. That tournament is now in its 30th year. and they come in from all over the US and Canada. And I'm thinking people are going to drive down and say, ooh, what kind of city is this? Instead of, boy, this is really nice. That would be a great place to start my business, or wow, I'd like to live there, or even vacation there.
No, I get it. And you know, that's why we came up with the Make Erie Great Again slogan, is because there's no reason not to. I mean, you know
Well,
what? This city's got heart and soul, but it's just like when you have an old house and you don't maintain it, there's a point where, okay, do we tear it down and start over? Or do we have to spend a fortune? We're at that point where we're spending a fortune to try to bring it back. And then the backwards philosophy of this administration locally, and then the city council with their, hey, long as we're putting money into the nonprofits, nonprofits make some money and they do pay some taxes on their employees, but for the most part, you're taking their buildings right off. They, you know, they give them a 10-year LURTA, and most, let's be honest, these, I'm not being mean. I'm just saying the chances of them making it to their 10 years is very slim. How many coffee shops, how many muffin shops does the city of cookie shops do we need? You know, we lost. We had the food court that's been, you know, hit and miss with some good stuff in there. You know, Gordon's is gone. You know, they just weren't making any
Oh, I
money.
know.
They weren't making any money. Now think about it. Now Country Fair, smart idea, but to have a convenience store there. But you know, how late is it going to be open? But yeah, no, and then
Well,
that's why.
just it.
Yeah, and I get it, and that's why, you know, that's why we do the show. That's why we said, hey, you know, you guys want to come out? I'll give you a couple minutes to say who you are, where you're going, which direction. How's your petitions going?
Well, I look at, like, I was at the Erie Zoo for 21 years. And I look at the Erie Zoo, and I remember when it was the #1 small zoo in the nation for decades. And we had people like Marlon Perkins and Joan Embry from the San Diego Zoo. I was blessed to be in a parade with her.
Right.
And it was a place you went. You know, our first 2 giraffes, Pete and Gladys, were named after Pete and Gladys, who owned, they had the Otis. They were the Otises. And they had the car dealership, Pete Otis. And I look at the history of our elephants. I mean, the first elephant was Joe. Joe was given to us by a circus. Then our next one was Eva. Eva came from the Ringling Brothers Circus, because they used to come to the city, and the circus field where they, you know, set up was on where Tech Memorial was. I grew up across the street. We'd go over and see the elephants. And then, you know, we have such a rich history. And I remember when Ray Kroc opened the first McDonald's here, he came over to the zoo. And it was like, wow, we were the place to go. Now they want to, you know, well, maybe Entertainment Erie could take it over and they could have parties at night.
Yeah, have dinner with the cheetahs. I know, I get that, but
Well, we don't have any cheetahs. We have a lame cat.
Right.
But we have lots of insects and things like that. Oh, yay.
Because they're a lot cheaper, less maintenance. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you can get roaches for free.
I had a good comeback, but I'm going to be nice. But yeah, no, go ahead. I mean, I appreciate you calling in. You know, I got to go and wrap this up because we're just getting ready to bring this thing in for a landing. But again, thanks for calling in. You know, good luck with your petitions. I'll see you at your little meet and greet.
We'll see you Tuesday.
I'll be there.
You better be there, or I'm going to come after you.
Don't want that happening. I don't want the squad coming after me.
No, you don't want the squad, and you don't want a old-time goaltender.
All right. Thanks for calling. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Brian. You have a blessed night.
You too,
Keep
dear.
going.
Thank you. Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So yeah, I mean, this is exactly why we do the show, to give people a voice that wouldn't have a voice. You know, Joe Natale's show. I like him. He's, you know, you to buy airtime is very expensive on these shows. I mean, when I ran for sheriff, I bought some airtime. Ouch. But hey, they have a lot of bills. They got to pay for a license, and they got to pay for electricity and air conditioning and rent and all that good stuff. You know, I'm sitting in my living room. So, you know, and we're not a business, and we don't have an FCC license. But yeah, so Brenda, if you don't have any more videos, we're gonna go ahead and bring this thing in for landing. We've been here for it's 12 after 5. I have a new clock. I really like my new clock.
I just have a Trump interview in Zelensky's apology.
Oh, he apologized.
Yes.
Oh, well, someone probably would have slapped him upside the head. I said, "You just pissed in the Wheaties of the most powerful man in the world. This is not Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. This is Trump and Vance." Hello, McFly. But go ahead, play him up.
Last thing, Mr. President. Yeah. Do you think your relationship with Donald Trump, President Trump, after today, can be salvaged?
Can be? Yes, of course, because it's relations more than two presidents. It's the historical relations, strong relations between our people. And that's why I always began with to thank your people, from our people. And this is the most important. And of course, thankful to President and of course to Congress, but first of all to your people. Your people helped to save our people. People, the first. Human rights, the first. This is very, very important. And we are thankful and sorry for this. I mean, we wanted very much to have only strong relations, and I'm very count that we will have it.
Well, very nice. And that's all that when Trump was and JD were talking about saying, how about come out and say thank you? They had this deal all worked out. They did. This was supposed to be a PR thing. Hey, here you go. Slap right on the back. Hey, have a nice day. And he decided to put the two of them on trial in front of their own people. And now everyone's like, oh, the big bullies. No, they're world leaders, and you better suck it up, Buttercup. He runs around dressed up like G.I. Joe. I'm surprised he didn't come in with his leotards and tights on, for God's sake. But no, he dresses up like he's G.I. Joe for the two most powerful men in the world. And you think you're going to bully them on live TV? Buddy, you got another thing coming. It's another great song, by the way. One more video, then we're going to wrap it up.
President Zelensky, and I would say it didn't work out exactly great from his standpoint. I think he very much overplayed his hand. We're looking for peace. We're not looking for somebody that's going to sign up as strong power and then not make peace because they feel emboldened, and that's what I saw happening. Looking to go on and fight. We're looking to end in death. 2,000 people died this week. Soldiers, more than that. Young Ukrainians and Russians. And somebody would say, why do you care about Ukraine and Russian soldiers? I care about them. I care about everybody. And we're not doing that. I'm not looking to get into anything protracted. I want immediate peace. President Putin is going to want to make, and he wants to end it. And you saw what I saw today. This is a man that wants to get us signed up and keep fighting, and we're not doing that. Not for this country. He's got to say, I want to make peace. He doesn't have to stand there and say about Putin this, Putin that, all negative things. He's got to say, I want to make peace. I don't want to fight a war any longer. His people are dying. He doesn't have the cards, just so you understand it, okay? I can tell you. Well, he says he wants it now. He wants to come back right now, but I can't do that. I can't. He didn't want to do about ceasefire. A ceasefire could take place immediately. A contract, if you want to end the war, you sign up an agreement. That's going to take a period of time. It takes time.
Gee, what a concept, huh? Let's have a ceasefire now. Can't do it because he thought he was going to come in there and bully him. And if the European countries want to throw in money to this money pit, you knock yourself out. About time that these European countries stand up and help their brothers and sisters in Europe. You know, it's not our responsibility. Every time you guys get in trouble, we come help you. You know what? The buck stops here. And these guys and these women and these super leaders are going to realize that real fast. We're done. And speaking of done, you got any more videos, Brenda?
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Negative, Ghost Rider. Pattern is full. Go ahead. We're going to go ahead and play the outro video. And first of all, I want to thank everybody that came out tonight. We're sitting there, again, a record number on X. Everybody that came in from X, thank you. I appreciate you. Send me a message sometimes. I like to chat and see where everybody is from. I want to see how far our little wings are taking us and everything, and our kind of our upgrades that we're working through, muddling through with the kindness and great donations from you guys and we the people. But again, thank you. Brenda, go ahead and play the outro video, please.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. Sing it! God bless the USA! From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining seas, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. Proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
Thank you all for coming out to Sunday Matinee. We will be back live Wednesday at 8 p.m. our normal time. We're going to have a special guest, local nonprofit. I'll get all their information uploaded on my site. And you want to meet a great organization, locally homegrown, that helps veterans. You'll be amazed. I'll give you some more information as I'll put that up tonight. And again, I want to thank Brenda for everything she does to make sure the show works perfectly. I want to thank our new caring and loving sponsors that are helping the show, really get off the ground. We got our thrusters up, our flaps are down, we're rolling down the highway. I'm starting to pull back on that yaw, and we're going to take this thing off for a flight. We're really going to go, and no turning back. Thank you all. And like we always say at the end of the show, Shank out.